Thanks for joining me today for this short podcast. I believe you'll find it encouraging, inspirational, motivating, and above all that, useful for everyday living. As we discuss how to live for God and excel in the world. What does it take to commit your actions to the Lord and acknowledge Him in all your ways so that the paths you choose to take will be the best ones for you and your plans will be met with success? I have been asked many times over the years, how as a believer or follower of Christ can you be a top performer in the workplace and still acknowledge and honor God? The two cards that should cause a shift in the way you respond to those two questions and begin to live it out in this life. This first card will help you move with the Lord as you make that move down a path that you believe will bring you a successful and full life. This card is found in Proverbs 3:6, and I like to call these life cards. So this Proverbs 3:6 is the first life card I'm going to put into your hand. It says, "In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight." In other words, He will show you which paths to take that will ultimately lead you to the most success, fulfillment, and contentment. I got to be upfront with you right now. The term success has been misused and misunderstood by many of Christ's followers. If you believe success is mostly equated with money and material things, you need to seek healing for your heart before moving forward in pursuing biblical success. There is one biblical reference I'm going to provide that I like to use as the foundation to define success. It's found in 3 John verse 2. "Beloved, I pray that in every way you may succeed and prosper, and be in good health physically, just as your soul prospers," which is a spiritual reference. This is what we like to call biblical prosperity. It leads to wholeness, so you're not so focused on one area that other important areas of your life are neglected. There's a balanced but focused approach to material, physical, and spiritual health. Keep in mind, your spiritual health also encompasses your mental, emotional, and physiological health. This gives us a clear picture of biblical prosperity as a multifaceted level of prosperity. Now let me give you a few concrete things you can do to start the process of acknowledging God in all your ways. One of the most difficult areas to acknowledge God is when we do wrong, make a mistake, or flat out sin. But the actions we take after realizing the error of our ways, they're imperative to sustaining an inclusive relationship with the Lord. The move here is to take some accountability and ask for forgiveness, which God will definitely grant to those who are sincerely looking for it. Let me speak to that person that is chronically messing up, or repeatedly making bad choices, or just choosing a life of sin and rebellion against God. First, do not give up. Keep asking for help. Keep putting yourself before the Lord, as His mercies are renewed daily. If it takes a week, a month, or a year, just don't give up. And continue to believe you will be delivered and break free from that thing that is tripping you up. Lastly, begin to fight back against the mindset, the very mindset that leads you down that negative path. Find a way to live life without that negative activity or that lazy spirit that keeps you from reaching your goals or moving forward. Just make a way to do something, one thing, more positive for yourself or actually someone else. There are things we can do that God finds pleasing. Do some of that. Just don't give up. I want to also include that high achiever who has all the outer trappings of success, but is feeling unfulfilled, isolated, and oftentimes lonely, even though you're at the top of your game. You need to put this card on the top of the deck. This means it moves to the forefront of your mind, and you need to become very intentional about discussing your plans, goals, and outcomes with the Lord. The instruction of this card is to acknowledge Him in all your ways, and then He will make your path straight. Being intentional about this elevates your level of God consciousness, where God is no longer an afterthought. The Lord is no longer a box checked on Sunday morning. Now he is the CEO of your life. And the Bible provides you that direction on how you need to run the company that is your life. Now you are seeking to honor God and put him first. Your eyes are focused on showing up in the most excellent manner that pleases God and will get you favor with man. Now on to the second life card. This life card is found in Proverbs 16:3, and it says, commit your actions to the Lord, and your plans will succeed. We all want success in our finances, our relationships, and our connections with each other and God. Success on any level is an important element of enjoying this life, and it's not something you should miss out on when you really don't have to. It all starts with your actions, and who are you committing them to? We are about to get a little deep and spiritual because many people listening to this think that when they're on the job, they're just committed to the job. There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually notable and honorable. You might be doing well with separating everything into little boxes. Like Sunday comes around and it's time for God. Family dinner or date night comes around and you're committing your actions to that. I gotta tell you this though, if you are not including God or committing the actions you take at work, at the dinner place, outside, on date night with the Lord, you will not experience the fullness and richness of this life. The question is centered around being a light in a dark place. This is how you build the foundation to committing all of your ways to God. Then you confess to the Lord, basically acknowledging that without Christ and the power of the Holy Spirit, you can't be that light. You will soon realize how much you need the assistance of the Holy Spirit to bring the true light and the best energy to any environment you find yourself. Lastly, you begin to thank God for being with you and using your life to bless others. If you combine that with the mindset of how your actions can be a blessing to someone other than yourself, you will begin to see dramatic and positive changes occurring in your life. New purpose and meaning will begin to manifest and drive you to a new level of excellence and commitment and contentment that you never thought was possible. Okay, I just put 2 cards on the table that can greatly improve your hand in life and a couple of practical steps that you can take to begin acknowledging and committing all of your actions and ways to the Lord. This is a process, and you will need to build the habit of pausing just long enough to invite the Lord into your daily activities. As you apply these principles, these 2 principles in your life, acknowledging God and committing your ways to him, you will transform your experience and begin to live life at its highest levels. You will begin to make better life choices and travel down better paths on your way to success and fulfillment. And during the successful times, you won't have that sense of isolation. You won't have that feeling of emptiness. These 2 cards, acknowledging and committing your ways to God, will change every single arena you live in. This applies to your career, all of the various relationship roles we have, whether you're an employee, a manager, an entrepreneur, a stay-at-home parent, mother, father, whatever your role is, these cards can tip the scales in your favor. These 2 cards are found in the book of Proverbs and is attributed to be written by Solomon, who by most biblical scholars is the wisest man to ever live. I'm not sure who you're currently using to gain understanding, motivation, inspiration, knowledge, and wisdom from, but I can assure you they just can't beat these cards down somewhere and keep them in the front of your mind as you build the habit of including God in your life. The first life card I gave you was Proverbs 16:3. Write that down. It says, commit your actions to the Lord, and your plans will succeed. The second life card I gave you was Proverbs 3:6, both written by the wisest man that ever lived. This one states, in all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. Guide you and watch over you. But if you don't communicate with God, if you don't include God, how can he advise you? I encourage you today, take this time to commit your way to God. Acknowledge him in everything you do, and the Lord will be involved in your life in every single way. God bless you, and thank you.